difficult for everyone, whether you've got an eating disorder or disordered eating. If you're constantly surrounded by food, then there's temptation everywhere. And you know what? Like, lockdown has been difficult for everyone. So actually eating has been a bypass to feeling good. But if you eat too much, that feels rubbish. You want to go out and exercise, you can't do that. So it's been created this perfect storm that I think a lot more people have realized that they perhaps have got an unhealthy relationship with food because that has become their disease coping mechanism.
And for you personally, how hard has it been, and how have you tried to avoid those triggers, I suppose?
Yeah, it's not really been a walk in the park. I mean, and that's not to be like, oh, woe is me. I just mean at the start of the pandemic, unfortunately, I lost my dad, who I was incredibly close to. And that was obviously horrendous. And then, of course, as well, being a stand-up comic, the entire industry has just sort of disintegrated. So I've had no income coming in as well. And then you've got, you know, sort of things on social media, etc. It's been difficult for everyone, but I think particularly with people with eating disorders, eating has been the only thing that people have been allowed to do, and that exacerbates the problem.
Another issue in Jessica's report, which I hadn't even thought about, was Zoom calls and the negative impact that has if people, I don't know, feel compelled to always have the camera on. What do you make of that?
Oh, yeah, no one looks good on a Zoom call. You always look like a depressed tomato, and you're just sitting there and you're looking at yourself, and people with eating disorders generally have a problem with body image, and that's not always the case, but I think it is difficult. And it's always these little nuanced things as well that perhaps the larger populace wouldn't have thought about, but someone with a disordered eating might affect them.
Have there been any positives to it? I mean, maybe some people prefer talking online.
See, I love that, Simon. I think, you know what, you've got to look for the positives. And I think one of the things that people appreciate now is appreciate their freedom and being able to go and exercise wherever they want. I think people are really going to value seeing people in person. But one of the things specifically in order to do with this is it is easy to say that the statistics are shocking, that people have called beat. But you know what? Beat have really stepped up to the plate, and they've put on extra provisions for people. But also, B, it is incredible that more people are getting help, because there is help out there. You can recover. And there are also things like Male Voice DD, which is a charity for men with eating disorders, and the Hub of Hope, which is an app that anyone can use that shows you any mental health support wherever you are in the country.
Yeah, it's very important. It is treatable. A lot of people, including me, don't really understand that. I'm not an expert, of course, but it is treatable.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not an expert either. I'm just a professional idiot. But it can be treated, and Beat do wonderful things. And I'm very lucky that I had treatment on the NHS that was incredible. But you are not alone. If you are suffering, there are numerous people out there, and there is help out there.
Dave, thanks very much indeed for your time. Dave Chawner there.